It's rather damp and cold out here, so I'm gonna put on this beautiful shawl that was made for me 5 years ago by one of my very first subscribers, and she still watches my videos. They're so nice to wear because when it's not that cold and you really don't want to wear a coat, it's perfect to wear for this. All right, everyone, let's sit down and let's discuss a little bit of the topic for today. I just love days like this. It's very quiet and it's almost surreal because there's so much fog and mist. It's beautiful out here today. I almost feel like sometimes I'm the only human being in the whole wide world when I'm here in my little homestead. Hi guys, how are you this morning? Talking to my chickens every day brings me a lot of happiness. You know, there's a lot of things in life that, money just can't buy. And one of them is contentment, It doesn't matter how much money you have or how little. Contentment is all about what's in your heart. I learned those lessons. I learned those lessons a lot this year. I'm sitting on a log. I didn't feel like getting my chair out. It's the little things in life, and that's what I really learned about not spending and not going away. I think the biggest thing I learned was by not spending money, I was home, and I am home a lot. I go away about once a week, and that's about it. And I have a lot of times been looking through all of the things that I own. And I realized there's some superstars back here that want a little bit of their time exposure. I just love the precious things that people have given me, and somebody made this for me, and she makes cards and crafts. And I think I realize when you don't go and buy everything you always want, I'm realizing that you really are enjoying the things that you do have. Yeah, I'm enjoying all the things that I do have. I am going through all of my cupboards and organizing and cleaning things up. I am organizing, working on stuff, and I'm realizing I had a lot more than I thought I did. I mean, how much can you prep? Using up food that I have. And so I'm using up all of the things that I had stored away. And it's fun. It is so much fun. I can't remember, the other day I said to hubby, hey, I didn't realize I had some of this. And I had a big pound container of cinnamon. And it was like, I didn't realize I had it. My mother-in-law was an amazing woman, but she had one flaw, and that was she was so disorganized. She was so disorganized. But every week she'd go to the grocery store and she'd buy the same thing over and over again. And when we were cleaning out her house, it was like, oh, Marion, how many ketchup bottles did you need? And how much of this did you need? And that is one thing I'm learning. I'm learning at home. I'm not going away. I don't have to drive to the post office anymore. I don't have to go away. I go my Thrifty Thursday. And you know what? I really enjoy my Thrifty Thursdays a lot more too. Yep. I'm not going away. And so when the Thrifty Thursday comes around, I am just so ready to enjoy that. And that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that it's not about the stuff. It's about what brings you happiness and creating things. And cans of spray paint. I found some cans of spray paint and I was using it up to make all kinds of crafts with things I got from the thrift store or things I had at home. Went through all of my clothing. I'm bringing out all of these beautiful things. Oh, I just cherish them. I had it away all winter long, and I'm taking my time, and when I'm going through my clothes, I had to get rid of a lot of clothing. They were just so ratty, really ratty, and I'm not buying new things. And so people have noticed that I'm wearing shirts like this, dresses like this more, and people are noticing I'm wearing this. Well, this was a product review, and it feels good to have things that are a little bit smaller on me. This is actually starting to get kind of big on me too. It's falling off my shoulders. But I had to get rid of some of that stuff because it was just so ratty. And I think I became so overwhelmed that when I would wash something, I would just wear it again. I didn't go through my closets. I just wore the same thing over and over and over again. And I was losing out on so much life. I was losing out on digging through my closet and finding things. I will be honest with you, I'm the kind of girl that if I find something really nice, I save it. Like the shoes and clothing, if it's a little nicer, I always save it. What am I saving it for? What am I saving it for? I think we should use the things. And I use the things of my mom's, I use her quilts, but when it came to my own things, if it was a little nicer, I would tuck it away and never use it. Oh, I said I would use it for special occasions. Life isn't made up of special occasions. Life is made up of everyday things. And I am just having so much fun. It is so enjoyable to me. It's everyday life. Dressing up a little, wearing a necklace. It takes a little more effort. Putting a bracelet on, something that finds enjoyment with it. Now, when I'm busy doing all of my cleaning and I'm really working in the kitchen and things like that, I won't be wearing things like this, but I think it's good to bring those memories out. Now, my grandma Fanny was the opposite. I love her dearly, but she was opposite. Everything that was homemade, she tucked away. And I guess maybe that's why I have it now. You know, I guess maybe I wouldn't have it if she didn't do that. But I find now it's so precious for me to get the quilts out, to get all of the things that she's made. The younger generation, a lot of them don't care about such things. And even my own family, there's a lot of things they don't really care about. So I am going to cherish them. And I'm going to enjoy them. And that's one of the biggest lessons I learned. Not running around, you know, every time I wanted to go somewhere, jump in the car. Car is gasoline, and that takes a lot of money. And driving to a post office that's 15 miles away, you know, that takes money and that takes gasoline, and it's nice to be home. And the more I'm home, the more I want to be home. And the more someone is away, they're used to running around. We call it running around. I don't know. Sometimes I say things and I don't know if it's just my culture or if everybody says that, but we call it running around. Running around is when you just run around in the car. Like you run around means you get in the car and you just drive around a lot to places, needlessly. That's what running. Akta, leave on now. Shh. Und schnell, quiet. Grandma would say worse than that. She would, oh, crying in a bucket is what she would say. She'd say, Akta, leave on now, crying in a bucket. I'm not sure where crying in a bucket comes from. Or, oh my stars. She would say that all the time, oh my stars. I know that all of my friends and family out there in YouTube land love you guys, but you guys are extremely annoying. I'm trying to have some conversation here with my friends. Grouchy. I'm not going in there again because the last time I went in there, you sat on my head. My goodness. You think it is trouble in the hen house. Cackling like a hen. That's where that saying comes from, isn't it? And why do I have an egg outside of the pen? Well, I have an egg outside of their house. That's a first. Now, I cleaned their house yesterday. I don't know why there's an egg in there. I'm gonna have to go in and get it. It's always something. Now, I do get a credit on my Amazon. So when I have Amazon, I don't get paid. When I use my links, I don't get any money from that, but I do get credit, and that I can use towards my wish list and things that I can get off of that. So I do use my credits because I use them from month to month. So I'm able to get a few items that I really need or I really want. So that is not included. And the thrift store, but like running to the grocery store, seriously, I know people, you're gonna tell me this all the time. Like, Tessie, you do not need food. I don't need food. I just am a foodie, and I love going to the grocery store. I love looking at food. I love buying food. I love all different kinds of food. I love a food bargain. I know I have a problem. Hey, it could be worse, you know? My food never takes me into debt. My food isn't materialistic, really. I mean, it's not. It's not like I'm buying purses or shoes or perfume. You know, it's not like I'm buying jewelry. I mean, look at my jewelry. I had my ears pierced when I was 5 years old, and I still don't wear earrings. Like, I could put them in, but I'm not into that. Now, I like stuff like this. I like urban stuff, but I don't buy jewelry. I don't buy any of that. So, you know, we all have a guilty pleasure of something. Come on, all of us do. Some people like to sew, and so they like to knit and yarn, and all of that is something they are really interested in. Mine it was food, like just going and buying and just, I love stocking up, and I love prepping. I love doing all of that. So I guess you could just call me a foodie. Even though I lost a lot of weight, I still am a foodie. I don't eat as much. I don't eat my emotions away, but I like it. I mean, I like eating. I just don't eat a lot like I used to. Now I'm rambling. Hubby said, Tessie, when your videos get too long, then you start to ramble. And then, but all of you guys are like, I like the rambling part. That's the real Tessie. We get to see how she really is when she starts to ramble. I always loved to talk. Now, my dad, he loved to joke around and have fun. Now, my mom was stern. My mom wasn't a big talker. My mom did not get excited over things. My mom was extremely particular. My mom was always serious, almost always, almost. Not my dad, he was the jokester in the family. And even though he's not my blood father, I am just like my sweet daddy. Sweet little Miss Teresa. Yep, that's what my daddy would say. You know, it's hard to believe when your loved ones go. It's hard to believe how time just keeps going. And it's hard to believe it's a little over a year. I think about it often, but not as often as I did. But having all of the things that my mom and dad had, just little things, cups and plates and clocks and silverware and knives and rolling pins, that's bringing back so much happiness into my life. And by not going away, I'm not distracted. I'm at home and I think of more of these things. I'm cleaning more. I'm outside a lot more. It's just different. And though I never spent a lot of money and I didn't buy frivolous things, I did buy things. I went away more than I probably should have. But I really am enjoying the simple things in life. My videos are reflecting that. There's been a shift in my life, and it was subtle until all of a sudden one day it became extraordinary. But it was subtle when it first started, and now it's extremely part of my life. When you lose a loved one, there are parts of your life that will always be different. There will be parts of your life that will never be the same. But then there's parts of your life that will be the same. Fundamentally, who you are, your solid foundation of where you stand in life, that doesn't change. But I am a different person in some ways. I think I reflect on life a little more. I think about life being something that is a vapor and it just goes so quick. I will soon have a birthday. I'll soon be 52 years old on this earth, and I'm thinking more towards heaven these days. Even though I know you all say I'm young yet, I am becoming more reflective in my life. And that helped me with the not spending, become more reflective in my life. And I thank you guys so much for helping me and watching and making some of my videos become quite popular. Who would ever guessed it? simple girl like me in this big world of YouTube, I reached somebody. I can honestly say I have touched somebody, and that person is worth it all to me.